Getting. You can take a swing at my ego. You can make a run for my crowd. Even with an army of people, you ain't gonna take us down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shootcast episode Play Button. We are very thrilled that you have pressed the play button so that you can see our review of Wrestlemania Play Button, also known as Wrestlemania 31. Mr. Che, what were your initial thoughts and feelings going into this main card?
I really thought that it was going to be a poor show. I didn't have much hype for it. I mean, there wasn't enough matches on the card, so I knew they were going to draw it out and put stupid performances, which I don't think needs to be in WrestleMania. So, I don't know. I wasn't really excited coming in. What about you?
I felt the same. I felt like every single thing was built incorrectly, except for the Triple H and Sting match, because obviously that had to be built way more on the outside of the ring stuff instead of the inside of the ring stuff. Generally speaking, when they did do in the ring stuff, it was pretty atrocious with the baseball bat and such, but we'll get into that. I guess we shouldn't dilly-dally. We'll get straight into the kickoff. So we've got that four-way tag team championship match. Usos, Matadores, New Day, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, all of them with their accompaniments. So the Usos, of course, had Naomi. Los Matadores had Torito. The New Day had Xavier Woods. And Tyson Kidd and Cesaro had Natalya. So pretty basic match to open up the kickoff show. As expected, some shenanigans with the valets. A couple Hurricane Ranas from Torito, which was, nice to see. Natty ended up putting a sharpshooter on Torito to sort of show him what's up. And then Naomi hit her with the rear view, which is somewhat offensive. A little bit more shenanigans on the outside. The match ends, though, with Cesaro throwing Mr. J outside the ring and capitalizing on the double Tower of Doom. So, a little bit about interference, a little bit of shenanigans with the valets. Nothing to write home about. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retain their titles. No big shakeups in the tag division. We didn't expect there to be. We both actually predicted Tyson Kidd and Cesaro to go over here.
Good. That's what I was expecting. They need to hold a belt. You know what I mean? At least give Cesaro a fucking chance. He was a winner of last year's Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So, they haven't done shit with him since. At least give him the damn tag titles. So I'm happy that this played out the way it did.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6.5. It's fast paced.
Yeah,
a lot of high spots, but nothing.
I mean, the problem is with these tag team matches, no matter who it is, eventually after the first match, after the first series that they do, it just gets old. I don't know why.
Well, because there's only so much they can do, right? With the shenanigans and with the double teaming and one partner's dead on the outside kind of stuff. So
yeah, and just this stupid freaking Matadores and New Day.
There's only so many ways you can toss somebody outside the ring so that they stay out there for 2 to 3 minutes.
True.
But anyways, we move on. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, obviously, if you're not familiar with this type of matchup, all of the 20 superstars start inside of the ring. A couple surprise participants, including Alex Riley and Bo Dallas. Haven't seen them in a little while. Riley obviously doing his stuff in NXT, but Bo Dallas, pleasant surprise there. Typical kick punch match. Nothing too spectacular. A couple of tosses here and there. The notable thing, though, obviously no Sheamus, who we both picked to win this.
That was weird.
Sheamus was heavily rumored to be back on this card. Heavily rumored to be back. He's been being built for...
They were hyping him up.
Yeah, he's been built for... 3 months now? So, interesting to see that. But the interesting thing here is Miz and Mizdow. Now, the Miz starts to give Mizdow the business, and this whole build-up culminates with Mizdow throwing Miz over the top rope only to be eliminated himself by none other than the Big Show.
Ridiculous.
Big Show wins.
2 out of 10.
Stands next to the Andre the Giant trophy and crosses his arms to pay tribute to Andre the Giant.
It's ridiculous. No, 2 out of 0 out of 10. He did not need to win. Someone else could have used that push. Even though it might not get him anywhere in the future, so what? They still could have won. Why give it to the Big Show? At this point in his career, he needs to be putting people over.
Yeah, I mean,
This
to
is
be honest
ridiculous.
with you, Mizdow could have used it.
Yeah.
You know, to separate him from Miz, and it would have been a good thing because the gimmick here is that Miz is saying that Mizdow needs him and he'll be fired without him, but for Mizdow to hold that over Miz, it would lead to a nice feud between the two if they are indeed going to separate them for good. Who knows? This might just be, just a spot where they do that, but hopefully they're separated for good. They can do a nice little feud. I would like to see... Excuse me, I had a few soda pops during this event, but I would have preferred to see Mizdow go in there with something over Miz's head to sort of put him in a position above Miz after he's been getting shit on for the past, 6 months now?
At least give him something.
Give the guy something. I might not like him, but damn, man, he's getting Cesaro'd. But anyways, move on. The kickoff to the main card. 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, Daniel Bryan, Luke Harper, and of course the defending champion, Bad News Barrett. This was a crackerjack, Che.
Yeah, it was totally hectic. I mean, you put 7 people in the ring going for a fucking belt. What do you think's gonna happen?
This was a crackerjack. It was good to see, a lot of different high spots. A lot of people were worried about having people like Daniel Bryan in this match to be doing high spots, but overall, really good. A lot of good. Ambrose took a lot of different things, like a power bomb onto the ladder from the to the outside.
Yeah, but he'd be one of the best ones because remember he was in CZW.
That's true.
He's used to it.
He did a lot of different stuff, so that was pretty good. We end up with a lot of different spots. Dolph Ziggler went up a ladder as quick as I've ever seen someone go up a fucking ladder. That was...
The only person that I've seen be able to run up a ladder like that is Shelton Benjamin.
Dolph was way quicker.
Yeah, because he's smaller.
He ran up the ladder.
I mean, that's athletic. I mean, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's after a 20-minute match.
So
Jumping
that was a
around
good
and shit.
spot.
That was good. So anyways, we got Dolph running up the ladder. Wade hits him with the bullhammer, connects with a few more bullhammers. Then Truth and Stardust get back in. Bryan himself runs up the ladder. Dolph Ziggler and Wade both knock him down. Bryan comes back with the knee plus to Wade, climbs up. Dolph runs back, slugs it out with Bryan on top of the ladder. They repeatedly headbutt each other. Bryan finally knocks him down. And what would you know? Daniel Bryan grabs the title. He is your new Intercontinental Championship, thereby giving the title some sort of significance. Me and Che both saw this coming from a mile away, so good job bookings committee, but the right guy got it.
Yeah, welcome to the mid-card, Bryan.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to see. We're going to see how much this title is going to be defended and what kind of significance it gets. Obviously, as we noted in the preview show, we had some credible rumors that the secondary titles were going to be given some significance by being put on, higher up superstars. So this was a good change. And after the match, of course, we go to the back and we have a litany of legends. Of course, we had Bret Hart and Roddy Piper, and who else came back there? We had Bret Hart, Roddy Piper. Who else was doing the yes with them? Man, there were so many. I can't even remember everybody that was back there. But anyways, had a number of legends back there with them, all doing the yes chants. Then Ron Simmons comes out. They ask him, "Wait a minute, were you were you ever an Intercontinental Champion? And he says, damn.
Yep.
And there
It
you
must
go.
be awesome to get paid just for saying that.
I know, right? If there's anything WrestleMania does, it makes sure that everybody fucking gets paid. So,
No doubt.
we go on. Next match. Seth Rollins, Randy Orton. For all the marbles. This feud has been going on for a while. Randy Orton out for revenge. Seth Rollins almost ending his career with the vaunted curb stomp of doom. So we get into a decent match. Also, just want to note, everybody had like special costumes. You know, like Seth Rollins had extra accents on his top. Stardust came out with like this Spawn-inspired cape. You know, everybody sort of had their own little adornments coming out there. So, you know, I would.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the moment, you know,
That should be their normal shit.
Yeah, but
You're gonna tell me they went all year without somebody being able to make that shit for them?
they're trying to save money. Remember?
Psh, they're trying to
tell you
save
what,
money. They just re-signed Brock Lesnar for 3 years.
What about that RKO though?
Yo, all right. So we get into it. A good match. Get a lot of nice spots. Some splashes. Heads. Orton throws Rollins into the. Rollins throws Orton into the broadcast table. They slug it out a few times. Stomps in the corner. Rollins hits a springboard moonsault to the floor. There was a good spot. I thought he was going to go for the 450, but he landed on his feet. Like, it was clearly planned out that he was going to land on his feet from the beginning. So, you know, it was pretty telegraphed. But we end with an incredible spot. Rollins goes for the curb stomp, and Orton sort of launches him. Sort of like, I can't even come up with the word for it. He springboards him up, catches him with the RKO. And that looked pretty impressive.
That was a good spot. I was shocked.
I'm pretty sure that there is no Rollins and Orton match without Rollins being caught out of the sky with an RKO. It's incredible. I mean, there's always, you know, have they done like a diving headbutt, like a top rope headbutt to an RKO yet?
I don't think so.
They need to try that shit. Like a Chris Benoit headbutt into an RKO. That would look sick.
Shit.
What if... All right, how about this? Get really crazy. All right?
I'm listening.
You get a guy on the top rope. You get a guy parallel to him on the same side. So I'm talking like northeast and southeast. All right?
I'm listening. What?
You have... Yeah. You have one dude jump off for like a flying headbutt. You have Orton jump off the other one and catch him in the air. They both come off the top rope. Super fucking RKO.
You know what?
Huh?
Nah, you might want to send that to WWE.
That's pretty sick, huh?
As long as they pay you.
The angle would be difficult.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing
Like,
is,
let's say that somebody's down. Let's say this is like a tag match or a triple threat or something in the future. Especially if, you know, well, we'll get to that later, but you got Rollins about to hit a headbutt on somebody, and boom, Orton sees it, goes up to the top, hits him with the super RKO of Doom. Pins him for a 23 count.
That would definitely be the highlight of the night, whenever they do that.
That would be ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's coming. They always raise the stakes. I mean, there's always Orton's figuring out like, okay, how high can someone go for me to catch them, and how high can I be to catch them?
Yeah, Orton's got to be creative, like DDP.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know, man. Might want to hit him up on Twitter.
I'm just trying to think where they can go next. How about
has he ever tried jumping off the top rope onto the table and he gets him in a RKO?
I don't know. I don't know if he's ever done any sort of top rope RKOs.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
Double top rope RKO.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever hit a double RKO either. That'd look pretty cool, like a double stunner.
I think. The possibilities, man. I'm telling you.
Anyways, So it catches him with that RKO, and your winner, Randy Orton, gets his revenge, and yeah, nothing else to say there. Decent match.
Yeah. If
Highlight
they
was
would have
that
saved this, if they just would have saved this instead of having him beat his ass on Raw for like 15 minutes.
yeah, it sort of made it a little bit less appealing that he already got his blow off for that, but oh well. We move on to Che's favorite match of the night. We've got the Crow Sting and the Terminator Triple H.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? Okay, I mean, listen, the whole Japanese thing with the gong, it
Makes
was
no
cool.
sense. Nah,
but at the end of the
makes
day,
no
the
sense.
performance was cool. But the reason why it sucked because it made no sense. It had nothing to do with Sting. And then they come out with the eerie fucking Disney movie freaking. Ooh, yes, like the biggest stage in wrestling history, WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this before, and I'm not gonna rant on about it. It needed to be 100% Crow Sting.
Yep.
And please tell me what the fuck was up with Triple H's entrance.
Well, first of all, the Sting one, terrible. He comes out with like this sparkly red jacket. I mean, like, he was already getting people saying he looked like the Nutcracker with the black one with the red accents.
And not to mention, he wore that type of shit in TNA.
He went full red jacket. It looked terrible.
The Vigilante.
The Vigilante. Yeah. Terrible. Terrible jacket. His face paint had red accents to it as well. Just this portrayal of Sting is unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, as you mentioned, Triple H's entrance was not much better. I don't know which one was worse. That's really tough. But Triple H comes out. They play this cutscene beforehand of like a cityscape. And Arnold Schwarzenegger comes. He says, Triple H, I'll be back. And then fucking Triple H rises up on this little platform with other T100. I think it's T100.
Are they that desperate for money that they have to do like tie-ins?
Was it 101? Fuck, whatever. Anyways, whatever the Arnold Schwarzenegger one is, I think that's the T101 or T100.
They should have had the women one.
Yeah. Well, no one really knows that one. That was a bad movie to begin with.
But
Like,
still,
as far as good Terminator movies, you got to stop at like 2.
I know, but the girl was hot.
All right. But anyways, moving on. He's got the T100s around him. He's walking down. He's got this terrible fucking. It's like a helmet with shoulder pads, and it's meant to make him look as if he's robotic, but he just looked like, I don't know, it looked like it was made out of tinfoil or plastic. It was really bad. It was really bad. So he comes out and he takes off the garb, but then he grabs 2, I don't know, bundles?
Bundles, there you go.
Bundles of metallic Terminator skulls. So
They all look horrible. They look
3
like
on
fucking
each hand.
tinfoil.
He comes out. He raises them up and shit. Comes down to the apron. I don't even think he spit any water, did he?
No,
Because
look,
he had those things in his hands.
it is a terrible entrance.
Yeah, so he didn't even spit the water, which, I guess robots can't get wet, but, come on. But anyways,
Can't get wet, Fred.
fucking does the thing, comes in, and they proceed to have the most overblown, overbooked, ridiculous, stupid fucking match ever. Okay,
Dude, this shit was garbage.
I will give Sting a little bit of credit that, he did a pretty good drop kick and got some height on it. Hit a Stinger splash, 2 of them actually, which was all right, but he applied the most sloppy looking Scorpion Deathlock. He was basically standing straight up and down as he had the Scorpion Deathlock on.
His death drops, man, they just ever since he got to the WWE.
So they go on to have a shit match for a while, and then all of a sudden, D-Generation X music hits. And we have the New Age Outlaws and X-Pac run down to the ring. Sting fights them off, splashes them on the floor. Triple H connects with a pedigree after the interference, but Sting happens to kick out, and Triple H obviously can't believe this. Then as Triple H goes for a sledgehammer, the NWO music cues up, and we get air guitar Hogan, Hall, and Nash. Now,
Don't get me
Jay,
started.
I'm sure, as anyone else that knows even the basics of WCW of the era, please let the listeners know what relation Sting and the NWO had with each other.
Okay, here's a problem. Okay, now, if they had him come out without the NWO shirts, without the NWO persona, and they could have tried to make it seem like WCW versus WWE, then okay, I still wouldn't have liked it, but it could have been better. But they had him come out as NWO, black and white. Problem is, okay, who was the NWO's number one enemy?
Oh, well, that
It
would be
was
Sting.
Sting, okay? The feud from 96 to 97, one of the best feuds of all time between Sting and Black and White NWO. How the hell would they be coming out to help him? In fact, they'd be helping jump him. You know what I mean? It's just, it's this stupid WWE revisionist history that they think that nobody would be, up to date on, or the little kids wouldn't, they wouldn't give a damn. But it's a spit in the face to the, WCW. I mean, say what you want about the last couple years of WCW, but they did have a legacy. You know what I mean?
They hate each other. Sting and the NWO are cats and dogs.
Exactly.
They hate each other. Sting was fucking terrorizing the NWO and WCW.
Oh my gosh, dude! Just anyone look up the clips from 96 and 97. You see what I'm talking about?
Coming out from the ring, coming down from the sky, fucking everything.
Came down from the helicopter at Bash at the Beach.
Yeah. There's no reason why the NWO would be at all worried about Sting's well-being. This has never been resolved. I mean,
tell me this, okay?
It gets better.
You tell me this, okay? What do you think was the collective ages of everybody that participated in that match? 1,000?
How about this? I'll give you the average age.
All right.
56.
It's hilarious.
Okay, here's the best part too. Okay, X-Pac. All right. Now, if anyone saw the Hall of Fame yesterday, X-Pac was out there with Kevin Nash, and so was Shawn Michaels. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum here. Okay, Kevin Nash ends up fucking cold cocking X-Pac because he's DX and they're NWO. Like, it makes... I don't understand, man. I mean, maybe they could have done... I mean, who else would come and help Sting? Randy Orton, maybe? He owes him one? I don't know. I mean, it would have been a good way to make Randy Orton look strong. But to always frame it as WCW versus WWE. In fact, Sting cut a promo saying people are saying that this is to get revenge for the WCW. And I'm just here to say that's ridiculous. Like, that was purposely scripted in to sort of throw away this whole fucking buildup of WCW, WWE.
I hate this shit with the WWE. I really do. You know what I mean? They bought, ECW, WCW. They got all of that rich history. But, instead of making money off of it, instead of correctly using it, they just want to shit on it. And you guys will know why. Whoa, oh, God. Continue. I don't even want to talk about this fucking match.
So, after a bit of a brawl between the NWO and DX, with the gullible crowd chanting "This is awesome" for whatever reason, Stinger puts on the Scorpion Deathlock, and the camera pans, and oh, who would it be? Shawn Michaels. And he hits him with the super kick. Triple H rolls him over, but Sting sort of like flops his arm up to kick out. But anyways, Billy Gunn hands Triple H the sledgehammer. Scott Hall, who was previously unsuccessful with the Outsider's Edge, he went to signal for it, and then he just got like fucking flipped over. So they just wanted to tease it. Of course, he wasn't gonna hit one of those. He's like, decrepit now. But anyways, hands him the sledgehammer. Mr. Hall hands Sting the bat in the most he tried to be all cool about it, but
nonchalant.
It wasn't even nonchalant. He like flipped it like, "Here you go, Daddy-O," and it was like '90s cool, but it was terrible. So this is the worst fucking sword fighting fucking shit ever. That Sting goes to hit, and Triple H puts the sledgehammer up, and the sledgehammer breaks in half. Like, so
That makes no sense.
So Sting splashes him, calls for another. Triple H grabs the head of the sledgehammer, which was previously broken in half, as JR would say, and he hits him in the head, and then he makes the cover. Now, first of all, when was this billed as a no disqualification match?
It was supposed to be. It was built as a 1-on-1.
This was supposed to be a regular match. I think the ref was even counting for countouts.
It was. It was supposed to be just a 1-on-1 exhibition, and it was supposed to be based off the psychology. You know what I mean?
So just during the match, Triple H flipped him a 20 and said you didn't see nothing, or?
Yeah, and during the match, it becomes a fucking lumberjack match too with the NWO and DX.
I don't know. I don't know why this was booked the way that it was, and I don't know what's up with the card placement. I thought this would be given a lot more significance, but as we'll see, the outside arena, the outdoor stadium, will present some logistical issues. But I digress. Terrible match, absolutely terrible. This was, I mean, why? Why would Triple H win this?
It makes no sense. You have Sting coming back. It's coming to the WWE, excuse me. His first WrestleMania ever, and it might be his only one. We're not sure, okay? Think about it like this, and someone else was saying this. It was like OTR Essential. They have all this shit on the WWE network, you know what I mean, with WCW. You have one of the forefronts of WCW, Sting, even back to the days when he was Surfer Sting. Wouldn't you want him to win so people can go back and even probably buy your network just to see the WCW catalog?
Yeah.
I mean,
or
why
so that he can do future things. Maybe he can go up against the Undertaker or some shit.
Maybe. Why would he lose? I mean, what's the point? Why would Triple H want to make himself look better?
It's almost as if they had an agreement. All right, you get all the offense in through the build-up, I get the win.
It's the worst thing ever. I don't know who was involved with this, Vince McMahon, Triple H, but
Triple H.
yeah, you're banging the daughter of the head of WWE. You're like next in line for that spot. You know what I mean? Who cares if you win a stupid fucking match? You know what I mean?
Put over the talent.
Yes,
not
exactly.
yourself.
Do you really need to win every damn match when you're going to be head of the company within the next 10 years?
And what would Triple H lose by losing this match?
Exactly, dude.
That's like Vince McMahon. He's the authority figure. He can lose every single match, but going in, he has the upper hand because he's the authority. He's in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Make the stipulations.
Triple H will still be on Raw almost every week because he will still be involved in most of the storylines, whether he wins or loses. This is a special appearance by freaking Sting, his first WrestleMania, and he fucking loses.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
So, there you go. It's garbage, literally garbage, and this was sort of the turning point of the night, I would say.
Yeah.
The first half was fantastic. This started a steady decline. So, yeah, what a waste. What a waste. But anyways, I've got the updated list of the people that we missed. It was Pat Patterson and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
How could I forget Ricky?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was looking kind of old, so.
Yeah.
We move on. AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins. This was pretty quick. With all the female empowerment hashtags and stuff, this was still very quick.
Hey, Fred. Brie wasn't wearing the pants.
See what happens when she doesn't wear the pants?
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. The crowd was enamored.
She still had to, come on, Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Terrible. We'll get over that.
Shit, but my boo was in there, so that's all I care about.
Yeah? Ooh, AJ Lee?
Fuck you. Paige. My albino princess.
All right. Well, I guess Lana's up for grabs then. Thank you.
No.
So
Fucking shit, I don't know.
we go on. We've got this match, which, anyways, as mentioned, no stupid fucking rip away pants, which is fantastic. It was fantastic. It was aesthetically pleasing. This was an aesthetically pleasing match.
You think she looks better
Yes.
without the pants?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. They look more similar. They're both wearing, like, bloomers.
Yeah.
So we move on. We've got terrible match.
Okay, we're going on. We're gonna go on. Terrible match. All right.
AJ connects with the a Thez press, couple punches, knees Nikki in the head, tornado DDT. Nikki comes back with the fallaway slam, but Paige gives her the drop kick. AJ goes for the Shining Wizard, but Nikki ducks that, puts her in the electric chair, drop setup. But AJ Lee counters with the DDT for two of them. Then the Black Widow gets applied, but Brie runs in, breaks it up. Paige falls, kicks her in the corner. Nikki slams her down, gets a near fall, and Paige sends Brie to the outside. Paige slams Brie into the steps, and AJ counters an Irish whip with a Black Widow to make Nikki Bella tap out. Your winners, Paige and AJ Lee. They share a nice hug. Terrible match. Aesthetically pleasing match, but
Yeah, I bet you was really happy when AJ was getting that Black Widow in.
no. But AJ
No, it looks a lot like
AJ was taking a few liberties with the pre-match hug with Paige. So
Hey man, I
that
ain't
was
complaining.
Mm-hmm. So,
That should be me.
but you were gonna say the Black Widow?
Yeah, it looks a lot like. Remember when Tajiri had that shit where it get him up to the ropes and
Oh,
do
the
like
tarantula?
the tarantula? It kind of looks
more
a
like
teeny bit like that.
It looks more like an abdominal stretch that you step over the neck with.
Yeah, it looks nuts.
So decent,
Decent, terrible match. You mean?
Well, it was aesthetically pleasing. The
Yeah.
technical aspects of the match were terrible, but
True,
the,
but you know,
the
it was-
aesthetic aspects of the match.
Yeah, and to be honest,
fantastic.
who watches a Divas match for the technical shit?
Oh my goodness. We move on. We've got Mr. John Cena versus Mr. Rusev for the United States Championship, and as yours truly correctly predicted, much to the chagrin of Mr. Che, Lana was there for an accompaniment.
Well, she was shooting a movie, and they're all aggressive with their fucking movie, so I didn't know that she would make an appearance. But
I'll tell you, I was the one shooting after I got that prediction correct. Let me tell you what, sir. She comes out with the I don't know, what was that? A mink fucking like a mink, like a boa.
just stunting.
She was flossing,
Shit.
and yeah, I mean, Rusev comes out with like an Ivan Drago jacket. I was saying, why couldn't they have made this fucking guy the jacket to begin with?
Because if he's a gold medalist, then he should have been on some team. He should have a jacket.
He should have the red jacket. It looks kind of like a Sambo jacket, to be honest.
Yeah.
But good for him. He's got a nice little jacket now. Comes out, and this match was meh. This match was also sort of a downer.
Yeah.
Couple spots with the accolade, of course. Lana throws one of her shoes in as Rusev tries to make it to the ropes, and Cena argues with the ref about interference, and I don't know why Cena would bother with that, but makes him look kind of complainy. Cena applies the STF, and Rusev breaks it, charges at Cena near the top rope, and Lana jumps up on the apron during the submission. Cena ducks it, and Rusev knocks her down. Now, I thought that she was still wearing her heels, so I thought that legitimately she had fucked up her ankle, but as we saw in the replay, she was not wearing her shoes, so it seemed as though she fooled me. She
Smart.
definitely fooled me. But
Could you imagine if she took in that bump with the heels on?
yeah, she would have snapped her ankle. You can't land on heels because you're like tiptoe,
Yep.
There's no way you could do that. Either that, like the fucking heel goes through your foot and shit. Anyways, with that terrible event of Mr. Rusev knocking Lana to the ground, I would be forlorn as well, and I would be vulnerable to getting hit with an AA and pinned as a referee slaps the mat 3 times. So that is a terrible turn of events, and Rusev, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, he walked into his own burial, man.
Yeah, well,
Burial.
you got a new champion from the United States, Mr. John Cena.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with this. Even though it was... This is where, Fred, this is where the second half was fucking garbage.
Yeah. I agree.
As we move on, you'll see how dreadful it gets.
So then we move on, and it's very clear that they need to sort of waste a little bit of time. As we mentioned, having an outdoor stadium, there are some logistical issues, and it seems as though they made a terrible miscalculation with the natural lighting, i.e., the sunset. Now, Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker are both superstars that utilize a dark entrance. Bray Wyatt comes out with the lantern, The Undertaker comes out with darkness and fog, and then raises the lights up. Both of them were not able to do so in sunlight. So what does the WWE do? They stall. And what do they stall with? Well, Triple H and Stephanie come out and they cut a promo on how they set a new attendance record, which of course is a work because they never released the real numbers. But they calculated whatever would be the record, and then they probably added 1 or 2 so they can solidify it. They come out and they say, you know what, we set the attendance record, and none of this could be done without me. And Stephanie continues to be a whiny little cunt and makes her Vince McMahon faces. And she has terrible tatters, but we can move on from that. She looked like dog shit tonight.
And she's working out like Triple H.
She's like the fittest flappy person ever.
Terrible match.
We move on. Terrible match.
All right.
Terrible promo. All right. So they ham it up a little bit, and what would you know? The Rock comes out. He takes about 3 or 4 laps around the fucking entrance, jumping around, telling the crowd that he loves them, and pounding his chest and jumping around. And as a consummate professional, he knows that there's time to kill, so he then walks on down, and he starts to cut a little bit of a promo. No cheap pops this time. I thought he'd come out with, a Cowboys jersey on and talk about howdy y'all.
Texas Rangers hat.
Howdy y'all, and, coming out with Chuck Norris and shit. But no, he keeps it pretty simple. And, well, Stephanie then tells him for no reason whatsoever that you need to get the fuck out of my ring, and starts scolding him. And then she slaps him in the face and tells him to get the fuck out of there. Rock then gets the fuck out of there, but after that, he goes down to ringside, and he grabs the only woman in the entire arena that I would refer to as more of a cunt than Stephanie McMahon, Ronda Rousey. She's standing there, and he looks at her, and she looks at him with lust in her eyes, and then he grabs her by the hand, and she sloppily goes over the barricade. Then he leads her up the stairs. She stands there with hand on hip while making puppy dog eyes at The Rock for approximately 7 minutes too long.
Shit, you knew he got laid that night.
And this culminates with then Stephanie turning her attention to Ronda Rousey and telling her that she needs to get the hell out of my ring. And Ronda says with a terrible delivery, whatever ring I step in is my ring. And Stephanie, as if she did not hear that at all, reiterates to get the hell out of my ring. And then Triple H, being quite the gentleman, goes to attack Ronda Rousey.
What the hell? All right, it's time to play the game.
I don't know, man.
I thought he should go in after The Rock.
Well, The Rock punched him a couple times, and then he charged over at fucking
That makes
He went to go fuck up Ronda. He said, "Fuck this."
She's a
I'm gonna beat the
UFC fighter. She's fair game.
Yeah, Stephanie, kick him in the balls. So he goes to run at Ronda. She hits him with the judo toss, and he sold that like nothing else. Like he sold it like the fucking mat was electrified.
Like he should have sold the loss to Sting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what? So Sting can't beat him, but Ronda Rousey can with one toss? It's like, that would be your finisher, judo toss or an armbar. But anyways, tosses him like a piece of garbage. Then she turns her attention to Stephanie, and of course, Stephanie's not going to take a fucking judo toss. She wraps her arm up and, like, pretends to wrench it upward as Stephanie's like, wah! Then she, like, pretends like she's going to hit her and, like, tosses Stephanie, like, a little bit, like, pushes her a little bit, and she rolls out, whoa, I'm going to get you, bitch, ah! And, you know, Triple H does his fucking frowny pointing and shit with this assorted trash talk.
You judo hip toss. How's he going to look hard and point at her when he got fucking judo tossed?
They point at them and walk backwards as they point and hold their wounds. Then The Rock awkwardly goes to let Ronda out of the ring, but then changes his mind because he knows that they've got more time to waste, and then invites her to come back in. You can see him clearly mouth to her that they need to wait a little longer. And then he says, if you smell what The Rock and Ronda, completely throwing the crowd off, are cooking. And he raises her arm. She then puts hand on hip and sort of like does a little bit of a hip flare. And that's it. That is the segment. Terrible.
Word.
Cannot say that I'm excited about this. The only thing that was exciting was for the rest of the night, you didn't have to see Ronda's fucking face.
Oh my gosh.
She was not ringside for the rest of it. I'm sure that
she was on the Rack's cack.
Well, actually, we do happen to have some backstage audio of what Ronda Rousey was up to. So, Ronda, I hear that you're a WWE fan. Well, let me tell you something. We're going to actually have you come back. And let me have you come back here. We're going to have a match back here. I'm going to see if you can toss me. Well, not a judo toss. I'm talking about salads. But anyways, we move on from that. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was not family appropriate. We should have given quite a warning of that.
That was Fred McMahon.
But I'm not excited at the prospect of Ronda Rousey doing WWE. I think she's going to be terrible at it. I think she's going to be too threatening towards the superstars, the divas.
Yeah, they don't have like a China or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's going to check her. So whatever. Anyways, enough time has been wasted. No, enough time has not been wasted as the sun is still out. And Bray Wyatt makes his entrance to complete daylight. Now, seeing a man walk out with a smoking lantern in complete daylight, as there are a few scarecrows laden around the entrance, is not very good and is not very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say, Che?
No, I mean, they miscalculated when the sun was going to go down. I don't understand why they just didn't opt for the dome or whatever, you know, just an arena that could have at least some sort of roofing or whatever. But yeah, these entrances, man, they don't look right.
Well, I'll tell you, Vince did opt for the dome, and that's why Ronda Rousey was missing for the rest of the night.
Oh man, that was a rock. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck these entrances were stupid.
So
they don't make sense. I mean, you have a lantern in pure daylight. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah,
you're not intimidating anyone.
You need to follow the buzzards, Che.
Shit.
The chair.
Where's the fucking chair?
Wow. That got struck by lightning, so. But anyways, Bray comes out to complete and utter daylight. And then, The Undertaker. No miracle happened. It did not suddenly become darker. The Undertaker had to come out to a broad daylight and barely purple lit entrance. They tried to overcompensate with fog, killing everyone in the vicinity, but it did not look very well. It did not look very good, sorry. And not good. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. Just not good. It was not
Yeah.
a good entrance for him.
Nope.
He comes out and does his Let There Be Light garbage. That's disrespectful. All right, he does his Let There Be Light gimmick. Comes into the ring while holding his hat so it doesn't fall off. Does a few like jacket whips, like whoosh. Then he does his little eyeball thing. It looked a little uncomfortable this time. It looked like he wasn't really doing it too good, or maybe that it pains him to do it nowadays. But
He didn't look as bad as he did at that picture that was released of him at the airport a couple months ago. I will say that.
Shay, no one looks good at the airport.
I'm just saying. He looked like he
I'm
was
just
fucking
saying.
dead.
There are two places where, if I were getting my picture taken, I would not want it, and that would be the airport or checking into a hotel. That is where people are at their worst. Especially people that are like fucking touring around the world and shit. Nah, they beat the fuck up at a fucking hotel or airport. But anyways, comes out to broad daylight, gives them the eyes, and these guys have I'm looking for the right word. Horrible, terrible, boring, uninspired,
no purpose match.
poorly laid out.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, a lot of them making eye contact with each other. Undertaker had a few of his signature spots like the snake eyes, and of course the old school. Several tombstones, a very high amplitude choke slam, which was good.
He started off very aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Seemed like he wanted to make up for last WrestleMania, I guess, and
Yep.
we haven't seen him for an entire year, so he definitely kicked it up a notch. But some stupid spider walking, which I don't, we would do that in gym class. Like, I don't know how that's intimidating. But anyways, match ends. They slug it out a little bit. Bray sets up for the Sister Abigail. Taker shoves him into the corner and then catches him off of the rebound with the tombstone. I believe that was the second. No, that was the third. The third tombstone attempt. And Undertaker is your winner. He is now 22-1 at WrestleMania. Neither of us predicted this. Both of us predict Bray going over. This is probably not a good move for the long run because your old superstars shouldn't be coming back on part-time schedules and beating your new superstars because then they don't look very strong. So
it's just like with Bray Wyatt. He had a little bit of a push last year. Then he lost to Cena, and that killed his momentum. And he's been having good matches against Dean Ambrose the past couple of months, and he builds this feud with the Undertaker, and he loses. And it was kind of like a lose-lose situation. You have Undertaker lose. Well, he lost 2 years in a row, and he's one of the biggest superstars of all time. Yep. That's disrespectful. Bray Wyatt loses, then he just momentum dead. It's just, I don't know why the fuck. It should have been Sting Undertaker.
I don't like it when older superstars come back and defeat your newer superstars because what does that tell you? It tells you that the new ones are inferior to the old ones.
Yeah, they're not building stars.
Yeah, you should be beating the older superstars because they're rusty and because they haven't been there.
Yeah, it's
Look at
it's
any other
one.
sport. Look at any other sport. MMA. Some guy that's been out for a year versus some guy who's been active. Chances are he's going to blow his brains out, So, oh well. That's that. I've seen some people say that this was good because it made Brock's win look that much better that he only lost one time and one time only. So, I don't know. It's up to interpretation. I say it wasn't a good idea, but that's just me. We move on, Che, to the event to end all events, the main event of WrestleMania Play Button. This is Roman Reigns challenging for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar, accompanied by Paul Heyman. Now, this starts off with Roman Reigns coming out quite far through the crowd. We were both wondering how the hell he would come out. Oh, by the way, I don't even think we mentioned the fact that Rusev came out in a fucking tank. But, oh well, never mind.
Oh, shit.
Too late for that. We were too busy talking about Lana, which is interesting. We talked but
hey, man, nothing wrong with that.
But, He comes out through the crowd yet again, this time with police officers.
No doubt, there's like 70,000 people there.
Well, I mean,
Someone could have cold cocked them.
I just think they knew that was a bit more hostile of a crowd because they booed the shit out of this
Yeah,
guy.
it's an international crowd, dude. People are flying in from all over the world. You know, when you got people coming in from different parts of the world, you know, you got your rowdy motherfuckers there, dude.
Yeah,
Some
well,
of them don't give a fuck.
They should have booed Rowdy Ronda Rousey that badly.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking
No, why
cunt.
don't you go boo her?
Hate that bitch. I wouldn't boo her.
Yeah, don't you go in person and boo
I would
her?
not boo her, wife her, nothing.
No. Boo as in Brooklyn.
Boo earns. But anyways, he comes through the crowd. He's got like a new vest with like his logo on it. Looked terrible. And then Brock Lesnar comes on out to some late pyro. He does his little Lesnar shuffle. He put a little extra giddy up on that Lesnar shuffle. He goes to cue for the pyro, and nothing is to be seen. At first, I wondered. I was like, was it a miscue, or did he think there was going to be pyro, but there wasn't? And then 3 seconds later and 5 steps later, the fucking pyro, like a ridiculous pyro goes off.
Hey, you know why
It
he did a
scares
little
the shit out of him and Paul.
You know why he did the extra effort into the shuffle?
Uh-huh.
Because he signed his new contract.
Yeah, he was doing a little Vince McMahon there. So, the pyro is late, and he jumps up. Pyro is on time this time, which probably surprised him as well. But, this was a typical Lesnar match. Reigns gets the shit suplexed out of him. The only difference is in this match, as it was completely one-sided, Reigns smiled and laughed the whole time.
It's like he's a masochist. Please give me more.
I don't understand this Roman character. I don't know what they're going for. Like, yeah, I could just imagine Vince in the back. All right, Roman, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna get your ass handed to you the entire match, all right? But you're gonna smile and laugh the whole time. You're gonna completely discredit Brock Lesnar as you completely discredit yourself by getting the shit kicked out of you.
It's like something Mick Foley would do, like take pain with a smile.
It's ridiculous. It's like it makes Lesnar's offense look less impressive, and it makes Roman look less impressive because if it's nothing, why isn't he doing anything back?
Exactly.
It makes
it's like
them both look ridiculous.
I guess, what do you call something when there's two ideas that don't match? What do you call that?
Incongruent.
All right. Incompatible.
Incompatible. But anyways, conflicting. So we have this ridiculous match. 57 suplex get hit within the first 2 minutes. Who the fuck would be texting me at this hour? Jesus.
The German suplex, right?
I don't know. Let's call them the Lesnar suplexes.
There you go.
Lesnar then gets in the line of the night. Suplex City, bitch. What he tells to Roman Reigns. And a couple more tackles and stuff like that. The match gets opened up with an F5, which that's like quickly becoming his thing. Like he F5s you right out of the gate. But several F5s. None of them do the job. Roman definitely doesn't do the job. We then end up with a Superman punch, another Superman punch, another Superman punch, while Reigns looks completely bewildered by this whole thing. A spear, and then another spear. Kick out at 2. More ridiculousness. Reigns and Brock are on the outside. He throws Brock face first into the ring post, and Brock is busted open. Now, did you think that this was a shoot, or did you think that this was a work?
I'm gonna say it's a work.
You think they're letting people blade?
Maybe on certain occasions.
I don't know, man. I don't think the corporate sponsors would be too happy about that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't look like something that would make him bleed.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, connects with another spear. Roman goes for yet another spear, but Brock catches him in the air and hits the F5, but he's very slow to make the cover. While both men are down, we hear Seth Rollins music.
Yeah.
And what would that mean? Well, Seth Rollins comes running out with his Money in the Bank briefcase, which is very interesting because several people made this this suggestion to me, but all of the different wrestling podcasts that I listened to, none of them said anything about the Money in the Bank briefcase. I wonder why. Do you think it's just that people simply forgot?
I think he's been holding on to it too long. I mean, for so long that people are like, eh.
Well,
They thought it was like part of his.
you see, the Money in the Bank is next month, so his Money in the Bank would have run out, I guess, or expired.
Yeah,
or,
he's almost been holding it all year.
Well, technically 1 year, yeah.
Jesus.
So, anyways, runs out, cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, throws Reigns outside and goes to check on him and make sure he's still dead. Curb stomps Brock, goes to curb stomp him again, but Brock Lesnar gets him in the air, gets for the F5, but Reigns hits him with the spear. Rollins, still not being affected by any finishers, runs over, curb stomps Reigns, and what would you know? He makes the cover. Now, I was a little bit confused by this, and it might just be ignorance on my part, but I was under the impression that if you were to cash in your contract, you'd have to pin the champion in order to win.
That's what I would expect because it's not a triple threat. It's just him cashing
Well,
in.
they announced it. They said it was going to be a triple threat. Like when he ran in and cashed it in, Lillian Garcia goes, Seth Rollins has cashed in his Money in the Bank, and this match is now a triple threat.
Well, since they made it a triple threat, then it's valid.
But I didn't know that's how it works.
Well, I guess, they're looking at it as, he came in, they officially announced it as a triple threat match, so anyone's up for game.
Eh.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to make Lesnar look bad. But he had to lose the title. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know even why they would peel the title off of Lesnar to begin with. I don't think Seth Rollins, for all of his good work lately, I don't think he's ready to carry the belt. It looked weird. It looks like he's too small for the belt. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. They have cruiserweights and people
It's
that would
the
be
heavyweight
classified.
title. Like he should be carrying like the fucking Intercontinental or something. But anyways, he's got the world title, and it just, I don't know, just not. It's not what you'd expect. I was kind of hoping for Reigns to win just so that we could see the internet wrestling community get real mad about it. But
you want to hear the boos.
yeah, those boos were deafening for him, man. They hated him. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Not too thrilled with the way it finished. Meh. I don't know.
Honestly, dude. This show, the problem is, man, is that I would rather have a second half that's better than the first half. Because you start off really, good, but then you just sunk, man.
So
It was like a chore watching it.
for me, if I'm going to give an out of 10 score, I'm going to give the first half an 8, the second half a 4, and the card overall a 6.
I'm gonna have to go with a 4.8 for the whole thing.
Whoa,
It's just
0.8.
yes. I was gonna say a 5, but I had to knock the 2 off because the second half was so terrible, and having a good first half just doesn't excuse it when the second half is this bad. I mean, we had so many fuck ups. All right, first we had the whole Sting fiasco. Okay,
Yeah,
that just pissed me off so much. That was
one
so
hell of a
freaking garbage.
fiasco.
Exactly. That was like as big as 3 matchups fucking up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had John Cena versus Rusev, which was to me a dreadful match.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, which was just lackluster. You know what I mean? This is main eventing at the end of WrestleMania, and you have this whole Seth Rollins cashing in, and it's just
Garbage.
it just dragged out so bad, dude. It's terrible.
So I'm actually not really looking forward to Raw. I don't know why they would replace Lesnar with like a chicken shit style champion, because just because he has the belt now, he's gonna be even more of a chicken shit about everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't change anything.
I mean,
He's
I
still gonna
thought
have his stupid security. He's still gonna fucking get preferential, favorable matchups. It's not. It's a terrible champion.
and I thought they would have built him up to like get rid of the security and be more of a dominant heel before he got the championship. But I don't know. They could be playing hot potato with this belt.
Well, I mean, you got Money in the Bank next month, so I don't see a title change there. He might hold on to it for a couple months. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what direction they're going, but it's going to be really weird to
Yeah.
see Lesnar without the title. And I just assume the only thing they would set up on Monday, depending on if Brock is going to be there or not. He might not. He might not even be there. We'll see. But something they might set up would be Brock chasing after Seth, which I guess would be a good match because Seth can fly all over the ring with those suplexes. But, for me, I personally don't really. I don't think it's advisable for anybody to get in matches with Lesnar because he just relies on suplexing you, and he does get pretty sloppy as the match goes on with those suplexes.
Yeah, I mean, anyone remember the triple threat match that they had with John Cena, Seth Rollins, and
Just
Brock
fucking
Lesnar?
tossed him. Hey, he just
Dude,
let go and
Rollins,
tossed him.
dude, Rollins landed on his fucking shoulder,
Almost
like
threw him on his
shoulder.
neck. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's literally just like letting go and tossing people, and he has the strength to be able, especially if you're going with it, if you're jumping with it, he has the strength to like really take you over. And, if he lets you go, you're going to go for the ride. So
because they have him doing so many fucking suplexes in one match.
that's
Dude,
his
at one
whole,
point,
that's his whole move set.
yeah, at one point he's just gonna be like, whatever.
His whole move set is kick, punch, suplex.
I mean, you think with him with his background in wrestling and of course MMA, they could at least throw him at least a couple more moves.
He should be, he should be doing, more groundwork. He should be doing like Luthez presses or spears, getting on mount and punching.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Shit.
I don't know. They just have him doing kick, punch, suplex. And like I said, he's a big guy. He gets very winded. And you're going to ask him to throw someone around 75 times. One of those are going to be fucked up, and it only takes one.
Yeah.
So God
Hopefully
forbid he
works on his-
ever gets in there with Daniel Bryan
Yeah.
and throws the fucking guy on his neck, and that's the end of him.
Hopefully, man, he starts working on his moveset since he's gonna be there for another. What they say in his contract, 3 years
3 more years.
at least.
Three more years as of this WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
So,
So,
the 3 years didn't even start yet.
hopefully,
3 years starts
Hopefully.
like tomorrow.
he uses his background and they can just put him a little bit more, versatility in his fucking moveset, man. It's ridiculous.
Well, like I said, I just think that, if he gets in a match with Daniel Bryan, throws him around like that, man, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah, man. Here's
And
hoping that they don't cross paths.
They're thinking about doing The Rock too, and if he's gonna be trying to throw fucking Rock around, like I said, it's just the style of match he does is not good for his opponent. It's fine for him, but people are gonna end up getting hurt with that shit, and I don't know. Maybe put him in there with Ryback. How about that? We'll see which one hurts the other. But alrighty. So 4.8 for Che, 6.0 for me. For those keeping score at home, Mr. Che won this one by 1 pick.
Because I bet on my boo.
You bet on the boo. We both had Ty Kid and Cesaro. We both had Sheamus, and we were wrong. Both had Daniel Bryan. Both had Orton. I had the Bellas. Che here had AJ and Paige, which gained him the win. Both wrong on Bray. Both right on Cena. Both wrong on Sting. And both wrong on Brock Lesnar. So, Mr. Che, you have won this one.
Yeah.
Soak in the victory.
Uh-huh.
There will not be many more of these.
Sure thing.
But, so that's one for Che. Just wrote it down in my notebook. I will keep score of this, and this will never happen again. I assure you. But anyways, that's it for us. Thank you guys for tuning into this clusterfuck of a review for a clusterfuck of a show. And we will see you guys for the Raw review tomorrow.
Peace.